Hello and welcome to my kitchen diaries. My name is Edward. Today I'm going to show you how I make my favourite leek and potato soup. It's a super quick recipe that takes usually no more than 30 minutes to prepare start to finish. Let's get cracking. The first ingredient in a leek and potato soup is of course the leeks. So get started. You'll need 2 leeks, good chunky size, and very simply we're just going to cut them into rings. And there, the leeks are all prepared into good size rings, some chunky, some small, it doesn't really matter, it's all going to get blended together anyway. Now for the first deviation away from a normal leek and potato soup recipe. Ordinarily one would start with onions, however this time around I'm going to go with spring onions. So I've got, how many spring onions? 7 spring onions here, good mature British spring onions. I'm going to just slice those up in the same way I did the leeks. I've added the spring onions to the bowl of the leeks. They'll all go into the pan together momentarily. Next up, the potato. You need 1 medium-sized potato, about 250 grams or thereabouts will do you just nicely for this recipe. Start by peeling it, then prepare it into fine cubes. There, the potato is now in small cubes. The smaller the better, really, without getting them so small they dissolve into mush in the first cooking. If they're too big, they simply won't cook all the way through and leave you with a slightly curious taste in the soup later. In a large pan, I've heated 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Can be any oil, I've just used olive oil because that's what I have to hand. First, add the leeks. Once the oil is hot, add the leeks and spring onions to the pan. And immediately afterwards, add the potato. Stir the potatoes, leeks and spring onions well, keeping them moving so they don't stick to the pan. After approximately 4 minutes on a medium to high heat, the vegetables will start to soften, the rings of the leeks will start to come apart, and at that point you know it's getting time to start adding more moisture to the pan. So start with half a litre of vegetable stock and pour that directly in. I use double strength on the first half litre of stock so that I can then top up with water as I go and as I see fit. So I'll probably add approximately another 600 millilitres of boiling water to this pan as the water level starts to fall. Now cover and leave to simmer for approximately 20 minutes to cook through the vegetables. After 20 minutes of good simmering heat, the soup will have settled down, the potato will be soft and the leeks will be falling apart. Now it's time to spoon it into a blender to give it a good quick going over in there before returning it to the pan to combine with the cream. When the soup is loaded into the blender, add on top some chopped coriander, which will release its beautiful fresh flavours into the soup. Just a few seconds in the blender on a high speed will reduce the soup from its chunky consistency right down to a beautifully smooth and even texture. Now it's time to return this back to the original pan to add the cream. Ordinarily one would add approximately 150 millilitres of double cream. Now, I don't like it too rich, I want to keep it quite fresh in springtime, and the heavy cream can sometimes clash with the coriander and spring onions. So I go with a little bit less. Alternatively you can use creme fraiche, which will yield a similar result. So add the cream, and then just stir through with the spoon. Once mixed, the soup will yield a glorious light green creamy colour and shade. Now, I like to add a little pepper. Some people may not, but I like to add just a few twists of pepper at this stage while the soup is still good and warm and it infuses throughout the soup. To serve, take a few spoonfuls and place simply into a nice shallow soup bowl. Now garnish. Pour yourself a glass of your favourite white wine and then serve. Delicious, a perfect sized lunch or appetizer. Thank you for joining me on My Kitchen Diaries. I hope you enjoy this recipe.